Ahead on 11 News, a new twist in the push to get voters to weigh in on the Metro light rail plan. An ATM robbery suspect puts up a fight as he's scheduled to appear in court. President Bush tells governors about a plan to butt out of state business. Also, new info about aspirin and heart patients, advice about teen investments, and much more. Next at noon.
If you ever wanted to save $300 to $1,000 on a Sealy Crown Jewel Posturepedic or a Stearns & Foster, the best mattresses in the world, today's the day. Fingers is closing out 8 different discontinued models with our lowest prices ever. Plus, you can even get bigger savings on floor samples at all 6 Finger stores. Plus, sleep free for 1 full year with no payments and no interest. The Sealy Crown Jewel Posturepedic and the Stearns & Foster closeout is at your fingers.
In a perfect world, clothes would fold themselves. Getting the kids ready for school would never be a problem. And sausage would cook in under a minute and taste like fresh cooked.
Welcome to the perfect world of new Jimmy Dean Fresh Taste Fast Sausage. The only pre-cooked sausage with the great taste and quality ingredients of Jimmy Dean, so you can serve a delicious breakfast in less than a minute. Jimmy Dean Fresh Taste Fast Sausage. Fresh taste, fast, guaranteed. That's the Jimmy Dean way.
Oh, jeez. Please turn off, please.
If you don't have auto insurance, you may be breaking the law. So it'll pay to call Rodney D. Young.
Now, 11 News at noon.
The battle over light rail goes back before city council members today. Good afternoon, I'm Jerome Gray. Thanks for joining us. City leaders are once again deciding whether a public vote or a city agency should decide the fate of Houston's light rail. That rail line would run from downtown through the medical center to the Astrodome area. 11 News reporter Amy Tortolani has the latest from City Hall. Amy?
Jerome, the special city council meeting was called today by Councilman Rob Todd. In order to do anything today, he needed 8 council members to show up. Todd admitted he had to beg some of his colleagues to come to the meeting. It took a while, but in the end, 10 did arrive. Then it took even longer for everyone to understand what they were doing there in regards to the Metro line. Even Todd himself was confused by a last-second amendment.
And in order to get a quorum in there, we had to work out some last-minute details. So I figured it would be that way. It's not a surprise to me. It's just the nature of the beast. It's just the nature of the way that democracy works. It's not a perfect system, but it all comes out in the wash.
Now, bottom line, the mayor did not want to have the city council to have to discuss this again, but that's exactly what's going to happen on March 7th. Now, here's what's going to be discussed. The possibility of a citywide referendum and a resolution that supports state legislation that would allow Metro to hold a referendum throughout its entire coverage area. Once again, this is very confusing, but the debate continues here at City Hall. Back to you, Jerome.
And we still have the matter in court as well.
Yeah,
Amy?
I mean, Jerome, there was so much confusion there today. We had to ask several times, what actually did City Council Member Todd really want to do by coming to this meeting? And at the end, though, he won in some aspects but lost in others.
All right, Amy Tortolani reporting downtown. Thank you. In other news, the 2 men accused of a string of robberies across 3 counties, including Harris County, faced a judge this morning. But getting one of them in court became a struggle.
Y'all can't do me like this, man. You can't do me like this, man.
DeCarlos Garrett fought with officers as they tried to escort him into the courtroom. He and his alleged accomplice, Varian Crouch, appeared before a judge this morning. Both are facing aggravated robbery and aggravated kidnapping charges. The judge had to read Garrett his charges in a holding room. Now their next expected court appearance is in April. It could mean the difference between a psychiatric hospital and a federal prison. Today, a psychologist will testify that the man shot by Secret Service agents outside the White House is competent to stand trial. Robert Pickett allegedly fired a handgun and then pointed it at officers. A judge is hearing testimony before deciding whether the former IRS auditor should stand trial. President Bush is promising the creation of a new federal group will mean less involvement in state government. This morning, the president met with governors from around the country. He reminded the state leaders that his administration includes 4 former governors, including himself. Mr. Bush says those strong allies are behind his decision to strengthen states' rights.
I've sat where you're sitting, and I know what it's like to have a good idea and then to wait on the federal government to tell you whether or not you can try it or not. So let me make this pledge to you all. I'm going to make respect for federalism a priority in this administration.
Now, the Federal Initiative Group will, among other things, streamline rules and regulations and draft a new executive order on federalism that respects states and U.S. territories. A Florida newspaper says it has done what the courts could not during the presidential election. Today, the Miami Herald is reporting the results of its study of disputed presidential ballots in Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, and Volusia counties. The paper finds Al Gore would have picked up a total of 888 votes, still not enough to beat President Bush. The newspaper also says on many ballots there was no selection for president, which could have been caused by machine failure or voters deciding not to pick a candidate. Secretary of State Colin Powell says the United States has no argument with the Iraqi people, just their government. Powell, along with former President Bush, is in Kuwait to mark the 10th anniversary of the Gulf War. Powell was chairman of the Joint Chiefs during the war. Also on hand, former U.S. Commander Norman Schwarzkopf, who laid a wreath at the U.S. Embassy. 200 Americans died in the 1991 conflict. The former president promised the United States will never let Kuwait down. Now, you're paying a little bit less at the pumps these days. That's because the average price of gas around the country is down slightly. According to the latest Lundberg survey, gas prices nationwide have dropped by 2 cents in the last 2 weeks, making the average cost per gallon about $1.50 for full service. At self-service pumps, the average price per gallon is $1.46 for regular unleaded. In Houston, you can expect to pay anywhere between $1.25 to $1.55 for regular unleaded. Well, arguments are underway in a federal appeals court in Washington. The Justice Department and Microsoft continue to battle over the company's future. A trial judge ruled last year that Microsoft should be split in two because it acted as a monopoly. Microsoft says it was promoting innovation. And legal experts say the company is hoping a new Republican administration will translate into a more business-friendly outcome for Microsoft. Well, speaking of our morning rush hour was dampened in spots by a few raindrops today. Let's take a look outside. This is what it looks like as we take this live eagle-eye picture. Mario Gomez is here with our first look at work week weather. Mario, it was a great day yesterday, a little different today.
Was it ever? Yeah, the clouds have rolled in overnight, Jerome, and it looks like they're going to stick around for quite some time. It looks like for much of this week, we could see even a rain pattern develop here in the Houston area. Already, if you look on our Viper weather system, we're noticing that more and more rain showers are beginning to move in from the Gulf of Mexico. What's happening? Here's a close-up view in town right now. Your lunch hour, if you're going out, well, there's some rain around Aldine, back to the southwest around the Harris County and Fort Bend County area. There's some more showers around Alvin. A lot of this activity is moving due north and could be in the Houston metro area throughout the day in scattered fashion. We'll be back to see how long this rain's going to be around Houston in our forecast in just a moment.
All right, we'll see you then. Okay. Thanks, Mario. Well, a new week finds new challenges for citizens of a small Mississippi town devastated by a tornado Saturday. At least 5 people were killed. 11 News reporter Teresa Estacio has the latest.
There is very little left standing here in Pontotoc, Mississippi. The small town was practically wiped off the map Saturday night when a deadly twister struck with a vengeance.
I was a big loser. My boy lost his life. My sister and her son lost theirs.
The tornado cut a 23-mile path of destruction through Pontotoc, leveling dozens of homes and damaging many others. But amid the rubble and wreckage, residents found an unlikely surprise.
Yeah, I didn't think she'd made it.
Her barn was literally blown away, but this horse managed to survive.
But she's not hurt at all. We got her out yesterday. She walked around. She's not hurt. You know, that's amazing.
Many others here were not as lucky. Area hospitals treated 48 injured people. Residents must now gather the strength to move on, some without any of their worldly possessions. In Pontotoc, victims say that they will need help to rebuild their lives, and assistance could be just around the corner. The governor of Mississippi has declared a state of emergency in this county, and that could free up federal relief money. In Pontotoc, Teresa Estacio, 11 News.
It's being called a medical miracle by some. A toddler found frozen and clinically dead is revived with no apparent brain damage. It happened in Alberta, Canada. when the 1-year-old wandered outside in sub-zero weather wearing just a diaper. Doctors say the girl is behaving as normally as can be expected, but she's not out of the woods yet. She has frostbite on her fingers and toes and may need plastic surgery. Many teens work to earn money, but do they understand how to let their money work for them? Next, the way for parents to teach teens to invest. The World Agency says it will begin giving away AIDS drugs. And Brooks and Dunn take center stage at Rodeo Houston tonight.
We're gonna paint the town.
In the book of Acts, the Sanhedrin court planned to kill Paul. He called upon his rights as a Roman citizen and appealed to Caesar. His journey to Caesar saved his life and gave him the opportunity to continue spreading the gospel. Paul knew and used the law to his advantage. Bob Simmons and Keith Fletcher are Christian personal injury attorneys who will do the same for you. If you've been injured, call Simmons and Fletcher at 713-932-0777 or 1-800-883-0777.
What happens when the government's most powerful prosecutor...
You think anything goes on in the federal building without me knowing it?
...goes after you?
Joe's in jail.
CBS Tonight, a vendetta against one partner.
People request he be held without bail.
How the hell did this happen? Shuts down an entire law firm. Leave them alone.
No, I want them gone, just like you.
And jeopardizes personal lives.
Just when I become partner, I could lose everything.
Don't miss Monday's highest-rated drama.
The ATM card doesn't work. The account has been frozen.
All New Family Law, CBS Tonight.
At the Methodist DeBakey Heart Center, excellence and innovation continue to be the pillars of our success. For over 80 years, the Methodist Hospital has been a leader in heart care. Following in the steps of Dr. Michael DeBakey, our physicians have developed many of today's life-saving procedures. As the Methodist DeBakey Heart Center launches into the future, we reflect on our legacy of cardiac care. For your health and the ones you care for, insist on the Methodist DeBakey Heart Center. We're pioneers at heart.
A woman's body is about 70% water, yet it's natural to occasionally experience personal dryness. KHOU liquid is water-based, non-sticky. It's from the #1 doctor-recommended brand, KHOU liquid.
I may look young, but I still suffer from hot flashes. I discovered a natural way to deal with it. Healthy Woman, from the makers of Monistat. Healthy Woman's a soy menopause supplement that helps relieve hot flashes and night sweats. Healthy Woman.
In the spirit of Texas, you're watching 11 News at noon.
A falling stock market and an uncertain economy may have many adults preoccupied with their finances. But it's also never too soon to start paying attention to your teen's financial future. Teaching young people to invest and budget early can have substantial rewards down the line. Reporter Kitty Pilgrim explains.
Teens have a significant advantage over adults when it comes to financial planning. Simply put, they have more time to invest.
The earlier you do start, the more time your money has to grow and the more compounding you can get. So the first couple of years of your working life, if you can put some money away, that can really carry you.
If, from between the age 18 to 24, your teen contributes $2,000 per year to a standard S&P 500 fund, with an average rate of return of 11% per year, it is possible your teen will make $1 million. But a 25-year-old who invests $2,000 every year until he or she is 60 will only earn $887,000. The reason for the difference is compound interest early on in the investment cycle. But being able to make money does take an initial investment, and that takes sacrifice and planning.
I think that teens need to be able to start distinguishing between needs and wants. Then you're also going to have to learn as a teen how to manage your money, but manage it in a realistic way.
Parents can help teens by teaching them to make a budget, which includes a list of expenses and savings, income from allowance or part-time job, and offer to match savings. Helping your teen learn good investment habits early on can be the key to a very profitable future.
That was Kitty Pilgrim reporting. Well, yesterday's Go Tejano Day at Rodeo Houston turned out to be the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo's 7th largest paid attendance in its history. And tonight, there's more action.
Give it all we can give it. Let your head down.
Rodeo Houston is going for another attendance record with the performance of Brooks and Dunn, the top-selling country duo of all time. They'll perform at Reliant Astrodome. Rodeo showtime is 6:45. Does aspirin do any good for heart patients? We have the results of a new study. And the Queen of Clean gets the dirt out of your grout.
Tonight, the Megaborg in 1990, the San Jacinto River in 1994. Have these spills, along with countless smaller events, done irreparable damage to our coastal environment? The answer may not be so obvious. 11 Up Close tonight on 11 News at 10.
You asked for an easy way to sell your car. So we created CarMax. Our expert appraisers will give you a written offer that's good for 7 days or 300 miles. And we'll buy your car even if you don't buy ours. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
You asked for a great selection of used cars all in one place. So we created CarMax. We have up to 10 times more used cars than the average dealer. So you can test drive nearly every make and model, from sports cars to minivans, all on one lot. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
We know what you're hungry for. It's that one-of-a-kind taste of Long John Silver's at an incredible value. Come in now for the new 21-piece Crunchy Shrimp Basket Combo for a deal and a taste that only Long John Silver's can deliver. That's 21 mouth-watering crunchy shrimp, piping hot hush puppies, our great new fries, and an ice cold drink, now for just $2.99. The new 21-piece Crunchy Shrimp Basket Combo, only at Long John Silver's.
Even when you throw 7 no-hitters, the calls don't always go your way. But most of the time, they make the right call. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks in the walls or doors that won't close, you need to make the right call to Atlas. Atlas uses a patented cable lock system to fix it once and for all. So good you get a lifetime warranty. If you want to be safe at home, read the signs and make the right call. Fix it with Atlas and fix it for good.
How do you really feel when you judge someone else?
At the heart of judging other people is a feeling of being unworthy.
Stop judging others and make your life more joyful. Gary Zukav, next Oprah.
Today at 4, here on Channel 11. You're watching Houston's #1 midday news, 11 News at noon.
AIDS medication can cost a whopping $10,000 to $15,000 per patient a year in some parts of the world, including the United States. But how about getting the medicine for free? That's what an international aid agency says it will do. Medical Sans Frontiers says it will provide anti-AIDS drugs for free to 10 countries, including places like India and countries in Africa, where patients go without medication because they can't afford it. Worldwide, 33 million people are suffering from HIV. Heart patients concerned about taking aspirin and blood pressure medicine can now relax. Researchers say heart attack victims can safely take aspirin with a blood pressure lowering drug to help with recovery. They add that combining the two treatments is only slightly more effective than just using one. However, the study suggests doctors continue prescribing both medications. Do you have a hard time getting those tough stains out of your grout in your bathroom or kitchen? Have no fear. Our 11 News Queen of Clean is here with her latest remedy.
Hi, I'm Linda Cobb, the Queen of Clean, and today we're talking dirty grout and how you can get it clean. First of all, we want to make up a great product to clean it with. I've got 2 cups of baking soda in this bowl. To that, I'm going to add 1 cup of 20-multine borax. Then I'm going to add enough hot water to make a paste. Now, there's no need to measure, just enough water to make a nice paste, pretty much like this is. You want it to be a little stiff. Now remember, if you're doing a floor, you want to use a brush that has a handle on it. Otherwise, you're going to use a brush just like the one I have here, put on the paste, scrub it in until you see that it's nice and clean. And it actually doesn't take much scrubbing. When you're done, you want to rinse that off well. And once it's dry, that grout will look spotless. Use it on any color grout. And thanks for talking dirty with the Queen of Clean.
Now, for more tips from the Queen of Clean, log on to KHOU.com and you'll find a link to the Queen's website. On Friday, the Queen of Clean shows us how to polish those appliances. When we have word into the 11 newsroom that Houston police say they are questioning a suspect in the abduction of 2 Houston boys. A 6-year-old boy was kidnapped in southeast Houston by a man who offered him $10. The boy was sexually assaulted, then dropped off. Police say that case is similar to another abduction in northeast Harris County, where a man grabbed a 9-year-old boy as he walked home from school. Police say at this time no charges have been filed against the suspect. Now, those clouds hanging over Houston could stick around the rest of the week. Mario has our forecast next.
Can you imagine Houston without freeways, with no skyscrapers, and not a single TV station? That's what it was like back in 1933 when Old Shan leveled its first foundation. Friends, a lot has changed, but for nearly 70 years, Houstonians have trusted Old Shan Foundation to protect their homes. And now with patented cable lock technology, Old Shan gives you a lifetime transferable warranty. Old Shan Foundation. If you don't need us today, we'll be here tomorrow.
They are among the finest in their specialties. Their patients are referred to them from all over the world. They have a wealth of experience and compassion. And when you need them, they're there. At Diagnostic Clinic of Houston, they have the resources and the technology to find answers to your health concerns. They are an impressive team of specialists to whom you can refer anyone. Diagnostic Clinic of Houston. Refer someone you love.
Change is good. That's why if you deal with occasional loss of bladder control, improved poise pads are for you. They've been redesigned for a close custom fit. First, they gently raise the center, bringing protection closer to you. Then, they change the shape, making one end wider than the other, so you can place the absorbency where you need it most. That's the beauty of this close custom fit, and only Poise has it. See, change always does you good.
A trip to Rodeo Houston and the Houston Livestock Show is always fun, but during the day, it's very special. Daytime visits give you a chance to get close to all the animals and spend time at the special exhibits. There's something to touch or see for the young and the young at heart. You can watch competition and judging close up, and you can do all this while sampling a wide variety of fine food. It's easier to get around and lots of fun to visit Rodeo Houston during the day. Take the free daytime bus to Rodeo Houston.
With Houston's most accurate forecast, Mario Gomez and SkyMax 11 Doppler, only on 11 News at noon.
You'll probably be getting cabin fever by the time it's all said and done this week. While not an all-out rainfall, we do have a few spotty areas of light rain popping up around the city and around southeast Texas. So far, they've been widely scattered areas of rainfall. All of this is forming ahead of a warm front that's moving out of the Gulf of Mexico. You can see some scattered showers just south of Houston. Closer up, it looks like the rain is affecting the far western portions of our viewing area first, between Katy and Houston, other areas around Aldine, and still this rain down around the Fort Bend and Brazoria County line. A lot of this is moving due north and could be affecting South Houston in the next few minutes. Here in Houston, though, the big story is how long this is going to be around, and for quite some time. The weather pattern that normally brings this in is already evolving out west. A major storm's been moving into California. Since Sunday, we've seen flood watches out across southern California. The rain will be spreading across the state from west to east on the heels of this subtropical jet. The jet is bringing in little weather disturbances. It's going to pretty much hang around in this general weather pattern for at least 3 to 5 days. That means these weather disturbances will be moving in from the southwest. Add to that and couple it with some cold air, you have all the makings for some winter-like weather across the Panhandle. Could see some sleet, maybe even some snow around the Panhandle tonight as the polar jet takes a dive and brings in some very chilly air. So far, this air has advanced into Denver. The temperature is approaching the freezing mark. They're getting some light snow in the highest elevations of the Rockies. But notice how cold this is. This might be the last blast of really super cold air before we get into the spring months around March and April. But look at these temperatures, 2 degrees right now in Duluth, 16 in Minneapolis, 11 up in Billings, and as mentioned, 33-degree temperatures right now in Denver. All of that will be moving south, but it's going to be a while because warm air is advancing out of the Gulf of Mexico along with this low pressure center. So for at least a couple of days, we'll be looking at moist, unstable air moving up the Gulf Coast, creating these showers we see out there right now. But look at all that moisture moving in from the southwest across New Mexico. That will turn into rain through much of the next 24 to 48 hours. Look at the temperatures across the south. Most of the states in the 60s, very mild, even some 80s showing up in the Rio Grande Valley. As this warm front continues to work its way north, we'll find another cold Arctic air mass sliding into the Panhandle. As mentioned, that could create some winter storm problems and maybe even some sleet and icy situations across the Panhandle. We'll be looking at a lot of warm, moist air. Couple that with some moisture developing out of the southwest, and you've got a pretty rainy forecast for quite some time. Take a look at your forecast. It starts off with scattered showers today, but more numerous patterns of rainfall evolving as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. The temperatures in the mid to upper 70s today, perhaps dropping into the 50s as this next cold air mass slides in from the north. We'll be looking at daytime highs slowly dropping off into the 50s Wednesday afternoon and staying there for much of Tuesday, or Thursday I should say as well. It should be chilly, so make sure you don't put the umbrellas away, and certainly don't turn off your furnace yet. You're going to need that later on this week.
All right, we've been warned.
All right.
Thank you, Mario. Taking a look at Wall Street this noon hour, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 46 points to 10,488. Three favorites continue to control the theaters, but did they stack up any differently this weekend? Box office results next.
This weather segment is sponsored by State Farm.
Houston's weather is changeable. Now you can be prepared to handle those changes. I'm Neil Frank, and this is my new Weather Almanac. It's full of useful information and weather tips that will help you make better decisions during severe weather events.
You can pick up a copy of Dr. Neil Frank's 2001 Weather Almanac at any participating Metro Houston State Farm agency.
A fact-filled weather guide the whole family can use. It's one way Channel 11 is working for you in the spirit of Texas.
Not hard to choose the car you want, is it? Actually, it is. After repairs, most people can't tell which of these has hidden frame damage. It's my job to make sure cars like this don't make it to CarMax. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
CarMax.com has a great selection of used cars online. We carry nearly every make and model. Find a car from any of the thousands we sell nationwide and have it transferred to the store nearest you. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
Here, professional kitchens are your classrooms. Here, cuisine is a way to express your creativity and talent. At the Art Institute, you'll learn the hands-on skills chefs use every day, from food preparation to presentation, and you'll learn how to think and act like a culinary professional. Once you graduate, you'll be prepared for entry-level positions from baking and pastry to garde-manger in resorts, hotels, and industry. Call us today at 1-888-296-8200.
Right now at Luther's, fill up on all the slow smoked ribs you can eat, complete with side orders and fixins, just $10.99 all day, every day, so come on.
Let's go to Luther's! Yeah!
For fuller, thicker, healthy hair that always rinses clean, reach for our original Pearl shampoo or new concentrate.
Value is important to us as a family.
Well, the Castle has great prices on braces, crowns, and dentures.
I like that.
Call the Castle today.
It was deja vu at the box office this weekend.
Hanging beneath these very windows, Francesca the Past.
For the third straight weekend, audiences sunk their teeth into a long-awaited sequel. Hannibal added another $15 million to its earnings, bringing the total to $128 million. Holding on to the #2 spot, Chris Rock's Down to Earth. That Life After Death movie earned another $11 million. And rounding out the top 5, Recess, School's Out, 3,000 Miles to Graceland, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Hannibal still taking it in.
Great movies, a great week to check out the movies with all the rain. In fact, it's raining in downtown Houston right now.
Got an idea. That's our news for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 5 and 6.
Check out the DeMontron High School Sports Corner with special reports from the Houston Chronicle sports reporters and the 11 sports team. Sunday mornings on Channel 11.
Lose weight fast and safely with Purelin weight loss tablets and diet plans.
With Purelin, I can lose weight without having to worry about diet pills affecting my blood pressure.
Or my heart or prostate, and I feel years younger.
And you look years younger.
Purelin's special homeopathic formula doesn't react with any other medication. Purelin weight loss tablets are even recommended if you're diabetic or have thyroid disease.
Purelin takes the worry out of losing weight.
Why is it that some people have more energy, can hit the day running, smile in the face of adversity? Just ask one of our members. Call now and get 2 for 1 or 50% off for yourself. 24-hour fitness. It's the way we make you feel.
We must have new goals for the new fiscal year. These goals must be attainable, measurable, and time-bound. Our marketing people tell us that we are slipping in both our major and secondary markets as far as our market share is concerned, and I'll expect you.
Some vacations stay with you longer than others. Visit San Antonio and remember the parties, the river, the rides, the arts, the view, the history. San Antonio, the story never ends.
Our old auto insurance was such a deal until we filed a claim.
You get what you pay for.
So we switched to Nationwide. Picture this. Good price, great service.
24-hour claims. 3 ways to do business.
Over the phone, over the web, over the desk. You're all set. Love this guy. Want a company that'll be there for you?
The number's on the screen.
See an agent, call, or log on to get Nationwide on your side.
A 4-year-old visits her dad on death row tomorrow at 10.